Hello dear students, let us continue with our fifth chapter, that is water security. This is the last lecture of this fifth chapter. So in this chapter we will discuss some important conservation programs that we implement in our country for preventing pollution of water, and also for conservation, for managing water, for preventing wastage of water, whatever it is. So for water conservation, which programs are carried out in India, that we will discuss, and also we'll discuss some of the do's and don'ts for water conservation, what we should do, what we should not do, that we will see. And finally I will give you the fifth assignment, that is the assignment from this chapter, as well as those who have missed the previous assignments, even that questions also I will give at the end of this lecture. So let us begin with our water conservation and management programs in India. Now what exactly these water conservation programs are meant by? Now see, these water conservation programs are initiated by the central and the state governments. Okay, water conservation programs are carried out at central level, that is on the large scale also, and at the state government level also. Some of the water conservation programs are also conducted by the NGOs. Okay, so see example, you can see Hariyali organization, it is one of such NGO, and actually it is sponsored by the central government, means central government also provides help to this NGO, that is Hariyali organization, which works for water conservation and management. Okay, so the central and state governments are also there, plus some of the NGOs are also there which work for the conservation of water. Similarly, see the third point, Niru Miru, that is, what is this Niru Miru? Niru means water and Miru means you. So this Niru Miru, that is water and you program, which is carried out in Andhra Pradesh. And also we have the Arvari Pani Sansad in Alwar, that is in Rajasthan. Okay, now these are also the names of NGOs. So Niru Miru, or whether it is Arvari Pani Sansad in Rajasthan, or whether it is Hariyali organization, all these NGOs, they are also helping in the water conservation programs. Okay, how they are helping? They are helping to construct water harvesting structures like tanks, check dams, etc. With the help of the local people. Okay, they take the help of the local people, and then they see what is the problem in that particular region regarding water conservation or water management. Especially the NGOs, they work in the drought areas, because that in that areas there is a lot of problem, or we can say there is a lot of shortage of water. So usually in these areas the NGOs are working, they are helping the people by constructing the rainwater harvesting structures or water harvesting structures like tanks, check dams and all. We have discussed this in the previous lecture. Okay, check dams and all. Similarly, for water conservation, we also have integrated water resource management programs. Okay, integrated water resource management programs means what? Different programs are combined together. Integrated means different programs, different activities which will help the conservation of water, which will help to prevent water pollution, or we can say which will help to minimize the use of water resources. It will help to minimize the wastage of water. All these activities together when we carry out, it is called as integrated water resource management. So even such integrated programs for water conservation are also conducted by different organizations. So not only the central and state governments, but there are different organizations also which work for water conservation. Now before going to the different water conservation programs, we'll discuss some 2-3 water conservation programs, but before that let us see some simple points which we can follow in our everyday life. Right, we can follow in our everyday life for water conservation. See, whenever there is a problem regarding water shortage or water pollution or any other problem regarding environment, we start on blaming the government, right? Ki the government is not working properly, that we start blaming them. But what I think is, whatever problem is there, whether it is regarding water conservation or shortage of water, or whether it is regarding tree plantation, or whether it is regarding preventing pollution, all this we should start from ourselves, we should start from our home, right? So let us see at our level, okay, from our homes, at our level, what all do's we can follow for water conservation, what we have to do. So first point, very simple, it is reuse of water whenever possible, okay, in our homes, in our colleges, whatever water we are using, see that whether that used water we can use it for reuse for another purpose. For example, see, in kitchen we use water for cleaning vegetables, for washing rice and all, है ना? So that water which we use for washing rice or for washing vegetables, that water we can use for plants, right? We can water the plants using that water. See, we know that actually why we are washing, so that the insecticides and pesticides are removed from the vegetables and all, or from the grains. So the first wash water, that we can throw it, but when we wash it second time, third time, so that water we can use for watering the plants. So this is what, this is reusing of water, right? So wherever possible, see that you are reusing the water. Similarly, see, one more example I can say, when we are taking water in a bottle for drinking and all, so many a times some of the water is left over. So even that leftover water also we can use for plants, or we can use it for some other purpose. So wherever possible, reuse water. Second, plan your activities to avoid wastage of water and fuel. So whatever activities we are carrying out in our home or in our workplace, that activity should be such that it should implement minimum use of water and fuel, okay, minimum use of water and fuel. Simple example again I'll give you from the kitchen itself. When we are cooking any vegetable and all, if we have to add that required quantity of water only for cooking the vegetables. Instead, if we pour the entire utensil, if we fill with water and keep the vegetables for cooking, then that is what, that is wastage of water, because that much of water is not required for cooking of vegetables, right? And it is not only wasting water, but it is also wasting our fuel, right? वो पानी में पड़ा हुआ वेजिटेबल हम लोग खा सकते हैं क्या? नहीं खा सकते। तो वो पूरा पानी हमको क्या करना पड़ेगा, उसको हमको ये करना ही होगा ना, वो ड्राई होना ही चाहिए। तो if we should use that only required quantity of water for whatever activities we are doing, then only we can prevent the wastage of water, and along with that we can also prevent the wastage of fuel. Similarly, fix leakages properly. This leads to loss of more than 76 liters of water in a day. Okay, fix leakages. In most of our houses we see that some of the tap, one of the tap or that pipes, the joints, and the pipes, wherever the joints are there, we can see that drop water is leaking. So generally what we say, okay, it is just a drop, no, drop of water is leaking, but this drops, how much of water it will cause to waste, right? So wherever you find leakages in the taps or in the pipes, see that you repair it immediately, so that the wastage of water is prevented. Because see, such drop wise wastage of water, see, even that can lead to loss of more than 76 liters of water per day. 76 liters means it is a large quantity, right? So fix leakages properly. Similarly, use bucket of water for bathing instead of showers. Also avoid use of bathtubs. See, generally most of the teenagers and all, most of they have that habit of using a shower and all. So instead of shower, if you use a bucket of water for bathing, that will help to prevent wastage of water. When we are using a shower, the maximum water is wasted. And also when we are using bathtubs, huge bathtubs and all, we know that bathtubs and all, they require a large quantity of water. So if we avoid showers and bathtubs, then also we can surely prevent the wastage of water. Instead you can use a bucket. Okay, similarly the fifth do's is use sprinkler for irrigation. See, there are different irrigation methods for agricultural fields. We have small channels, small canals also. See, but these canals and channels, now what happens, that leads to wastage of water, because during rainy season and all na, these canals and channels, they overflow. So actually it is wastage of water. So instead of making that channels of small water channels or water canals, if we use sprinkler system for irrigation, even see if we use a pipe for watering the plants, that is also a wastage of water. When we water plants in our garden, even that time also, if we use a pipe, then that is a wastage of water. Instead we can use sprinkler method for irrigation. That is, you must have seen nowadays many of the fields, many of the agricultural fields, we see this sprinkler method only. Pipes are there all over the field, and that pipes are having small sprinklers where from where the water it comes out drop wise, okay, or it is just sprinkled, so that prevents the wastage of water. Even in our garden also we can use that system. Or else, there are cans which are having a sieve plate, so that is actually a sprinkler. So even that can we can use for watering the plants instead of pipes. Then 6.6 do's, that is, run your dishwasher, washing machine and dryer only when you have full loads. Nowadays we are using washing machine for washing clothes, we are using a dishwasher for washing dishes. So these machines actually they require a large amount of water. They use a huge amount of water for washing clothes or for washing dishes. So see that if you are using a washing machine, so for 2 or 3 clothes it is not advisable to use a washing machine, because for 2-3 clothes also the machine will take that much of water, okay, which is the lower level, the minimum level that it will take only. So instead you see that when you are having a lot of clothes for washing, that means water will be used properly, it won't be wasted. For 2-3 clothes also you will require that much water, and for 8 to 10 clothes also you will require that much of water. So it is beneficial that instead of using the washing machine for 2 or 3 clothes, you see that you are using the washing machine where you are when you are having full load. Okay, so these are some of the do's. If we follow this in our regular life, you must be thinking these are simple points, what is there in this? But if we don't follow these points, then surely there will be a lot of wastage of water. So to avoid that wastage, we have to follow these do's. Similarly, we are having some don'ts also, what we should not do for conserving water. Very simple point, this first point it is, which we are listening right from our childhood days, okay, and we keep on listening this point time to time. Even then there are people who are not following this. So don't keep on the tap running while different activities, that is while brushing teeth, while shaving, while washing the clothes and all. See that you are filling the bucket, you are taking the enough required water, and then you are closing the tap. Don't keep on the tap running, right? So that will lead to a lot of wastage of water. Similarly, don't hose down your lawn to clean it. Yeah, just now we have discussed this point, that instead of using a pipe for gardening the plants or for cleaning the lawn and all, for cleaning corridors, most of us what they do, they use a pipe, so that with the force of water all the dirt and dust it is removed easily. But that leads to a lot of wastage of water. Instead, what you can do, you can use a bucket or you can sweep off the lawn, right, with the help of a broom. So that will help to prevent the wastage of water. Don't wash clothes, utensils, animals in water bodies. Again, this point we are listening, we are studying this right from our childhood days. In the in the water bodies, whether it is a river, whether it is a pond, lake, whatever it is, see that you are not washing dirty clothes, utensils or animals in that water bodies, because that will lead to water pollution. Similarly, avoid throwing flowers, sweets and puja materials into water bodies, right? So we are even this thing takes place ki most of us, what we do, the flowers which we use for puja or whatever leftover material is there, puja material, instead of throwing that in the garbage and all, we throw it into the water bodies, right? We don't throw it in the garbage. So please do not throw these flowers and all into the water bodies. So what we can do, even it is not good to throw it in the garbage and all, na, right? So what we can do, this puja materials, that is this flowers and all, we can dig a pit and we can use these flowers or the puja materials for making compost. And a compost, you know, a very good fertilizer which we can use for plants and all. So if I dig a pit, एक बड़ा सा खड्डा खोद के अगर उसमें वो flowers और पूरा dry जो भी पूजा materials है, if we put in that and cover it with soil, then after some days you will see that that will be converted into compost which we can use for plants. Then avoid throwing dead bodies and ash in river. Again, these are some of the rituals which we are performing. Usually dead bodies we are not throwing in the water bodies, but previously this was a ritual that dead bodies are thrown in rivers like Ganga and all, na? All these holy rivers. It was seen that the dead bodies were thrown in these rivers, so that would lead to a lot of contamination of water, and we know that this water, river water, it is also used for drinking purpose and all. So avoid throwing these dead bodies or ash in river so as to prevent pollution and to prevent the contamination of water. Then avoid use of weedicides in the agricultural fields and all. We know that if we use excess of pesticides or insecticides or weedicides, then that leads to water pollution, because these extra insecticides and all are carried along with the rainwater into the nearby water bodies, which leads to water pollution. So to prevent water pollution from these weedicides, see that you are not using too much of weedicides, or you are not using too much of insecticides and pesticides. So again, these were some of the simple don'ts which already we know. Again, we have discussed that for conservation of water. So if we follow these do's and don'ts in our regular in our routine, okay, daily routine, then surely we can prevent water pollution and we can go for water conservation. Now, as I told you, we will discuss some of the water conservation programs which are carried out in our country. The first one I want to tell you about the Pani Foundation. Even you people have heard of this Pani Foundation. Very, very famous it is. Our actor, our Amir Khan and his wife, they are also involved in this Pani Foundation activities. Now, what exactly is this Pani Foundation? See, Pani Foundation, actually it is a people's movement to fight drought, right? In the drought hit areas, instead of keeping on crying and complaining ki we don't have water and all, if the people come out and together they work, then surely they can fight with the drought conditions. Okay, so this is a people's movement to fight the drought conditions. That is the Pani Foundation. Now let us see some of the important features of this Pani Foundation. See, this was founded in 2016. Okay, it was started from 2016 for making Maharashtra drought free by people's participation. Okay, ये अपने स्टेट में, महाराष्ट्र स्टेट में 2016 से स्टार्ट हुआ. And of course this involves a lot of people participation, local people's participation for making that particular area drought free. Now, what is the main feature of this? See, it is based on the thought that only people's movement can eradicate drought. Okay, drought conditions, see, these are natural also, because see, we know that there are less trees nowadays, trees are being cut off, and not only that, but due to climatic features also, due to climatic conditions, adverse climatic conditions, weather conditions, we see that in some of the areas we don't get enough rainfall. So there the conditions are drought conditions. So if the people they come out and work together, then surely they can fight this drought conditions. So this Pani Foundation, it is based on the thought that only people's movement can eradicate, can remove drought. See, this Pani Foundation provides training of scientific watershed management, leadership and community building to the villagers. What it does? It gives proper training of watershed management programs. See, watershed we have seen in the previous chapter some of the watershed techniques, contour trenches, then we have seen that check dams are there, then farm ponds are there, and with diagram I have shown you. So all that comes in the watershed management programs. Not only watershed management programs, but this Pani Foundation also gives training regarding leadership and community building. That means what? The community, the village community should be united, they should come together, they should work unitedly, and some of the people, they are having that leadership qualities, right? So that leadership, with the help of that leadership qualities, training is given to other people, the other villagers, and they are helping to follow or build this watershed management programs. Now it is working, this Pani Foundation is working in around 90% of drought hit villages in Maharashtra through training films and manuals. Training kaise de rahe? With the help of different films and manuals, they are showing like we have practicals in our colleges and all, right? So similarly they are giving practical knowledge to the people through films and through manuals, and about 90% of drought hit villages in Maharashtra are covered by this Pani Foundation. Not only this, see it how it encourages the people. See, it conducts a competition called Satyamev Jayate Water Cup every year to inspire and encourage the villagers for more and more participation in these activities. This is very important. See, more and more villagers should come out for working for this water conservation techniques or programs. So what they do, they not only give training, but they arrange competitions in between villages, okay? And they have kept one trophy. What is that? See, Satyamev Jayate Water Cup, right? So the village which works most unitedly and which develops more and more water conservation techniques and fights against drought, that village gets this trophy every year. So this is the way with the help of which they encourage the villagers, they inspire the villagers, so that more and more villages and more villagers should participate in this Pani Foundation activity in order to fight against drought, right? So this is one of the important program, we can say, water conservation program. So it not only provides training, but it also inspires and encourages more and more people to fight against drought, right? So this was about Pani Foundation. Similarly, we have the Samagra Shiksha Jal Suraksha Drive. Now what is this Jal Suraksha Drive? See, last year onwards, our environmental science subject is now changed to environmental science and water security, right? लास्ट ईयर से ये चेंज किया गया है कि अपना जो सब्जेक्ट है एनवायरमेंटल साइंस, व्हाट इट इज़ एनवायरमेंटल साइंस एंड water security. So this environmental science and water security, this is nothing but the Samagra Shiksha Jal Suraksha Drive. Now what is this Samagra Shiksha? That is overall Shiksha regarding water security. Overall education is provided to the students regarding water security. Why to the students? Because you are the future citizens. If now you will learn the importance of water conservation, if now the students will learn different techniques of water conservation, then in future there won't be any water shortage problem. So what is this Samagra Shiksha? See, it was launched in August 9, 2019, that is last year itself, by Union Ministry of Human Resource Development. Now what is the purpose of this? It was launched to create awareness about water conservation among all school students in the country. Why school students? Just now I said that if the school students develop that awareness, or they come to know the importance about water conservation, then in future they will follow that water conservation techniques, so that there won't be any water shortage. So this Samagra Shiksha or Jal Suraksha Drive, just it was started last year itself, and it is to create awareness about water conservation among the school students. It aims to make students competent and committed water citizens of nation. Competent and committed water citizens means the students in future will be able to fight, they will be able to compete with whatever water problems are there if now they are given proper knowledge regarding water security. And also they become committed water citizens. Means what? They will come to know the importance of water, and they will prevent the wastage of water. They will also spread awareness among the people to prevent water pollution, to prevent wastage of water. So all this is being taught through this Jal Suraksha drive in your environmental science subject. Okay, it also enables them to carry out water conservation activities in their day-to-day lives. So not only for the future, but in our day-to-day lives also, because of this water security education in the schools and colleges. If out of 100, if I say, even if 50 students start following these water management techniques, water conservation techniques, or they come to know, they realize the importance of water, and they realize the importance of saving water, conserving water, then we can say surely this Samagra Shiksha Jal Suraksha drive is successful, right? So for this purpose, for making the students aware regarding the importance of water conservation, this Union Ministry has started the Samagra Shiksha Jal Suraksha drive for the school and college students. So that was one of the important program, water program. Similarly, I would like to tell you about the Water Act, which was framed in the year 1974. Now this Water Act, actually it is to prevent water pollution because of industries and factories. Okay, we have discussed in the previous lectures also that the industries and factories, what they do, they release the waste water into the water bodies, which is very much harmful for the aquatic life. Now actually there are different rules, that is, before releasing this waste water, it should be treated so that the poisonous substances are removed from it, right? That rule is mentioned in this Water Act, which was initiated in 1974. So let us see the important features of Water Act. Now see, the Water Act, actually it was framed for prevention and control of water pollution. Okay, the objective is to prevent pollution of water bodies and to protect the wholesomeness of water. That means to protect all the water bodies, to prevent the water pollution. This Water Act was initiated in the year 1974. The Act established central and state pollution boards to regulate the sanctions and permissions required by the industries. Okay, what is this act actually? As I told, it is to prevent water pollution through industries and factories. So this act, according to this act, central and state pollution boards were established. Okay, now what is the use of these boards? These boards regulate the sanction and permissions required by the industries. मतलब industries को इन boards से, state pollution board या फिर central pollution board से पहले permission लेना पड़ेगा, sanction लेना पड़ेगा start करने के पहले. क्यों sanction या permission लेना पड़ेगा? That pollution board will see कि जो industry permission मांग रहा है या start होने वाला है, उससे कितना water pollution होगा, या इस वाटर पोल्यूशन पे ये जो इंडस्ट्री है ये कुछ अलग ट्रीटमेंट वगैरह करेगी या नहीं. अगर वो बोर्ड को ऐसा लगता है कि ओके ये जो इंडस्ट्री है वो प्रॉपर वाटर ट्रीटमेंट करके ही फिर वेस्ट वाटर रिवर में छोड़ेगी या रिलीज़ करेगी, तो ही उनको परमिशन दिया जाता है. इफ़ दैट इंडस्ट्री डज नॉट सेटिस्फाई all the rules and regulations, then they don't get the permission from the state or central pollution board. Okay, see, this act prohibits release of any polluted water with prescribed treatment in water bodies. ठीक है, इस एक्ट के हिसाब से इंडस्ट्रीज और फैक्ट्रीज ने कोई भी वेस्ट वाटर जिसमें बहुत सारा टॉक्सिक सब्सटेंसेस है बिना ट्रीटमेंट किए रिवर में या किसी भी वाटर बॉडीज़ में छोड़ना मना है, राइट? The industries and factories, they should follow this Water Act. According to the Water Act, the industries and factories, they should release the waste water only after proper water treatment, so that the poisonous substances from the water are removed and that will not cause any harm to the water bodies. So that is the Water Act. And not only this, according to the Water Act, see, the people who don't follow these rules and regulations, even they are punished with fine and imprisonment. ठीक है, उनको फाइन भी भरना पड़ता है जो फॉलो नहीं करते ये रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस. तो अकॉर्डिंग टू वाटर एक्ट दे आर सपोज टू पे द फाइन, या फिर उनको इम्प्रिजनमेंट सज़ा भी होती है ऑफ सम फ्यू मंथ्स एंड ऑल. So that is Water Act. So see, regarding water conservation programs, I have explained you the Pani Foundation, the Samagra Shiksha, that is Jal Suraksha Drive, and also we have seen about the Water Act. These were the important ones. Like this Water Act and this Jal Suraksha Drive or Pani Foundation, as I told you, many NGOs and central and state governments are also working. They are also carrying out many water conservation programs. So out of this, these important ones I have explained you. So here we end with our 5th chapter. Now it's time for the 5th assignment. So the 5th assignment is study causes of water pollution in your locality and suggest the corrective measures. ठीक है, assignment क्या है आपका 5th? You have to study the causes of water pollution in your locality. आपके एरिया में, आपके लोकेलिटी में वाटर पोल्यूशन दिखेगा तो उसके कॉजेस क्या है, दैट यू हैव टू राइट, एंड उसे किस तरह से आप प्रिवेंट कर सकते हो वो वाटर पोल्यूशन को, वो भी आपको पॉइंट वाइज लिखना है. तो सिंपल असाइनमेंट है. अगर आपको लगता है कि आपके लोकेलिटी में या आपके एरिया में नहीं दिख रहा है आपको वाटर पोल्यूशन कहीं पर, तो थोड़ा सा ऐसे कुछ कंपल्शन नहीं कि आपके लोकेलिटी में वाटर पोल्यूशन नहीं है तो असाइनमेंट नहीं लिखना है. नो, यू हैव टू राइट. वी आर लिविंग इन कल्याण ईस्ट, तो यू कैन कंसिडर दिस कल्याण ईस्ट एरिया फॉर राइटिंग योर असाइनमेंट. सो जो भी वाटर पोल्यूशन आपको दिखता है आपके लोकेलिटी में या नियर बाई लोकेलिटी में, तो यू हैव टू राइट द कॉजेस ऑफ दैट वाटर पोल्यूशन, एंड वो वाटर पोल्यूशन आप किस तरह से प्रिवेंट कर सकते हो ये भी आपको लिखना है. सो आई होप यू हैव अंडरस्टूड द 5th assignment. Now the remaining assignments I will give the previous assignments. See, the first assignment, that is from the first chapter. I have already given this during the previous lectures, but I know that many of the students have missed the assignments. So again I am giving the questions. So देखो, first assignment है from first chapter, that is what do you mean by sacred groves. You have to write what are sacred groves, and you have to explain the importance of sacred groves, and also you have to write the threats, that means what problems the sacred groves are facing. That is the first assignment. The second assignment is you have to write down the recycling process for plastic and paper along with the flow chart. इसमें देखो सेकेंड चैप्टर से है ये असाइनमेंट, तो 2.7 एंड 2.10 फिगर जो है वो प्लास्टिक और पेपर का फ्लो चार्ट बताते हैं रिसाइकलिंग प्रोसेस का, तो वो फ्लो चार्ट भी आपको लिखना है एंड प्रोसेस भी आपको लिखना है. सिमिलरली थर्ड असाइनमेंट, दैट इज़ फ्रॉम द थर्ड चैप्टर, यू हैव टू राइट एनी 2 elements of sustainable agriculture in detail. I have explained you many elements of sustainable agriculture. From that you have to write any 2 elements in detail. Then the fourth assignment, you have to write what is environmental impact assessment. This is from the 4th chapter. So write what is the meaning of environmental impact assessment and write the steps of environmental impact assessment process in detail. एक about 8 to 9 steps है, simple steps है किस तरह से environmental impact assessment किया जाता है, तो वो steps आपको लिखना है डिटेल में. So all the 5 assignments I have given you now. So here we end with the 5 assignments. In the next lecture I will give you the guidelines for project writing, okay, because project is compulsory. So next lecture I will explain you regarding project. Till then, thank you, bye bye.